Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's matchup for the D2 State Championship between the Arlington Stallions and the CRC Berserkers. I'm Elijah Hall, and I'm here today with Malachi Martin. Malachi, how are you?
I guess I'm doing pretty well. It's a great weather for rugby today, and we just finished watching a pretty exciting D1 girls varsity game. So that was exciting to see, and we're also watching some really great rugby right now. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, here for the Arlington Stallions, they have player Fatman Thorndike. He plays for New Trier out of state and Arlington in state. New Trier won the Tier 2 national championship this year. So yeah, he's a really good player. He's definitely one of the best players they have, and so Arlington definitely has a plus with him. Haven't quite seen much of their other games though, so I guess we'll see. But here's a good line out. Here's Thorndike. They get it out to and it's a good quick passing. Good run from Cheverette. Looks like they're really utilizing that forward crash. Passing it out. Nice slow run. Slowly getting meters really quickly. Wait, that didn't make any sense. Slowly getting meters. Here's Fatman with the kick. It'll go out the back. The try zone's pretty close up, but they'll have the penalty advantage for diving in the ruck.
Yeah, this is definitely a little bit faster-paced rugby than the game that we just watched. They're doing a great job with running into contact, and we've seen some really great runs even already. Running in, and then when they get the wrap on the tackle, is still forcing them forward and causing a passive tackle.
Let's say they're getting ready to quick tap and run into contact. Here it is. Here's the run. CRC with some good defense, holding him back. Here's the rip and go from Ballister, but a good hold-up call, and CRC will come away with the goal line drop.
Yeah, this is definitely a fast-paced game. They're moving up the field pretty fast, and then we're already, getting a kickoff from an almost try. It's a great kick, though.
Here's Thorndike. Kind of weaving around. He'll pass it off to Brennis. Out to the sideline. Ball still in. A quick run. And the try for Arlington Stallions. An amazing play there. A good offload save. And it's going to be quite a difficult kick for the kicker, but.
Yeah, it's one of the lowest percent kicks, even for professionals to make it from there. So it'll be interesting to see if he can sneak it in somehow. But yeah, Arlington is definitely doing a great job with the back line. They're doing a great job getting it out and then running it down. They do a little bit of the forward crashes, but when they use their forwards, they definitely they make a lot of meters.
And yeah, it was a really good try by Wimma, Jack Wimma, the inside center. But it all started with that save from going out of bounds.
Looks like the kicker's definitely taking his time trying to measure this one up.
Takes a couple of breaths. Here it is.
And it's good.
Oh, sneaks its way in there. Fabulous kick. Now CRC is going to have something to go up against.
Yeah, it's definitely a quick pick-me-up for Arlington. You can see the team's definitely excited about it, and they're cheering each other on, trying to keep that speed going.
And starting off with that 7-0. That's a big deal. Yeah, CRC just had trouble keeping them outside of their own 22, which is where they were at the most of the time. Looks at some quick ball. Wow. Nice dime from Fat Man Thorndike. Some strong rucking from Arlington. Now they're back out. Here's the back line. Here's Wimma. He'll take it in a bit. Savage rucking over. Thorndike gets it out to Bronis. He's still going before finally getting tripped up. Penalty advantage for the high tackle. Thorndike again. Gets to the forward crash from Panich. And it'll go back to the penalty advantage. But it looks like the Sir will have a quick talk with the captain.
Yeah, it's definitely fast-paced rugby, but with fast-paced rugby, sometimes, there's a bit of a slip-up. You're just going for the tackle, and you grab a little bit high, and that'll definitely, that'll slow things down, actually, if you're trying to go fast, and then, you're committing these penalties. It doesn't help anybody out, really. You got to make sure that you're playing clean.
And it looks like the captain's going to have a little chit-chat with his team, trying to clarify up the high tackles, I believe. Sir calls time back on, and Thorndike looks like he's going to kick the touch. Now he has a really strong boot, and he really gets things going. Here's the kick. Beautiful placement right at the 5-meter line, putting Arlington in another good position to score.
Yeah, it's definitely good field position, and it'll be interesting to see how each team responds to a line out like this, right there. If they'll try to go in for them all and try to muscle it in, or use their back line.
Interesting to see how this throw is going to work. Here it is. Kind of bounces around, but Thorndike will pick it up. He'll run it in, weaving his way around. Here's the run in from the 6th Ballaster. Kind of gets held up a bit. Ball gets popped free. And a good tackle there, giving Arlington a little bit of trouble. Sir calls time off, and the captain's called back again. The captain and a group of guys.
Looks like there'll be a yellow card already, and one of the players will be sent off to the sin bin for 8 minutes.
Too many high tackles.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt the Berserkers right now. Especially Arlington is hitting pretty hard right now, and every defender on the field is important. So losing a guy on their line, that's definitely going to hurt them.
Especially in a state championship. And ties back on. We'll see what Thorndike opts to do. Quick tap. He'll run it in. Here's the offload. And the try from Michael Panich. An amazing run there. Good decision from Thorndike. He quick tapped it, then saw the gap, passed it off to Michael, and he ran it in. Nice and easy like stealing candy from a baby. That'll put Arlington up quite a bit. 12-0. And that's without the kick. Now we've been seeing pretty good kicking here from Ballaster. From his first one, which was a really low percentage kick, but he managed to squeak it in, bouncing it off the top of the post. We'll see how he can get it this time. Here it is. Just underneath this time. That'll put a score 12-0 in favor of Arlington. But yeah, if it wasn't for Thorndike's kicking, getting the Arlington Stallions in position, I think it'd be kind of harder for them due to the aggressiveness of CRC's defense.
Yeah, it's definitely a kicking game this time.
It's all about the territory. But I will say, Respect for CRC for having colors on their jerseys. Just like the old-fashioned rugby jerseys. Vegas, here's the run, and a quick gain. And Thorndike ducking under tackles. Yeah, CRC's real problem is getting low. They're having a hard time getting the tackle because Arlington's doing a really good job at running low. And here's the penalty advantage again for the high tackle. Thorndike, he'll get it out. Here's a good quick run from the 10. Alex Brennis still going and ducks under another high one. Still runs it in and muscles his way to another try. Alex Brennis will put it in yet again, putting Arlington up 17-0.
Kind of impressive for 6 phases after a kickoff, and then you're already punching it in for a try. So, yep, definitely fast rugby. CRC is definitely lagging a little bit behind here.
Something tells me that if CRC got the ball on offense, it'd be a different game. But right now, because of the kicks, because the how rugby works when you kick it back to the team that scored, and Arlington is doing a really good job with possessing the ball, CRC has not really had a chance to show what they got.
Yeah, so really now it just comes down to if Arlington makes mistakes, CRC is really going to have to capitalize on that and then see if they can't make something happen.
Another difficult kick. And just underneath yet again. So now keep the score 17-0, Arlington. Here's the drop kick. Looks like they do a little grubber to see if they can get it back, but they can't. Good run up from. Oh, but they'll knock it on. Arlington will knock it on. It'll be a scrum to CRC. Now this makes things a bit more interesting. Inside the 40, they got a chance to do a little something.
And now it really comes down to, can the Berserkers really capitalize off of this scrum and then see if they can't punch it in and then make something happen.
Sub coming in for the Berserkers. Edwards comes on in for the number 7, Neri. Vegas, here's the Berserkers, now they're out to the back line. They get to the winger. Fernandez, he'll get driven back though quite a bit. Ball's back out again. Good quick run. And here's the offload out to the back line. Wow, that is some speed, but Thorndike will catch up and take him down right at the 5. And he won't quite get the poach for not releasing the tackle player. And here's the run for the try. CRC will put some points off for the board of their own. Good offense there from CRC. Good quick thinking.
Yeah, that was a good run. And even if Thorndike hadn't not released that, that was looking like that run was going to go in. I think that try was definitely a little bit inevitable. I think now because rugby is a reward system game where you score and then you get the ball back. I think the game will be a little bit more interesting now with maybe a bit more back and forth. Both teams capitalizing on everything that they can.
Kick is no good, so score is going to remain 17-5. But CRC will receive the ball again, so we'll see how this goes. Looks like both teams are struggling on defense.
Hey, we got to spread out on defense. Spread out, Stallions.
And Thorndike will be kicking off. Here's the kick. Nice and high. Received by Rodriguez. He'll get taken down though. And drifting out the field. Looks like CRC's having control. Stolen by Wimma. Now Arlington will get the ball right out the bat. A nice fake from Thorndike. He takes it down. Arlington looks like they're going for the forward crash. And a penalty awarded to CRC. And here's a quick tap and they're back out. Out to the back line. Kind of wondering what to do. Rodriguez is taken down. Passes back out. Good run from Zarco.
Richard, you got this line. It's this line. Orange.
And a penalty again. In from the side. Awarded to CRC.
Looks like they're pulling in a guy to kick. Try to get a little bit of better position, and it looks like they'll capitalize. Ball comes flying up and over the media tower.
Barely clearing Richard Jolly. One minute on the yellow card. And here's CRC's line out. Beautiful throw from Kono. And they get it to Zarco. But he runs into some traffic. Really good defense from the Stallions. Ball's back out to the back line. Good quick back movement. And a good run from Fernandez. But it'll be going into, tackled into touch. And it looks like the captain's needed. Oh no, they're letting in the yellow card. Kamari Cross will come back in. But there will be a lineup to CRC.
Yeah, once again, CRC is back in their own, or back in the other team's territory, now just beyond the 40-meter line. So it'll be interesting. Once again, can they capitalize on that and then try to pound it forward? Because looks like they fumble it, but they keep it and a knock on.
Yeah, kind of a good line out, just a bit. Look like they're a bit nervous when they popped it off. And it looks like the scrum's kind of brought down, but they're looks like they're going to just redo it. Scrum to Arlington. Yet again. And the penalty awarded to CRC. Pushing early up in the scrum. Quick tap. They get to Kamari. Long pass out. And get down the line. With some speed and agility and a high tackle. Sir will call time off. And wondering what the Sir is going to call. And the Sir will get the penalty try. Yep, Sir will get the penalty try. That's free 7 points there for CRC. And they don't really need to kick. Oh, maybe they didn't call a penalty try. Maybe they just called the try there because he dove in enough or something like that.
He's probably, yeah, talking to the touch judge, seeing if the try was in fact in.
And I guess it was, but it will be a missed kick. And the score will be 17-10. And if Sir wants to talk to both captains, without a doubt, something about the high tackles.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a couple of those even in this first couple minutes of this first half. So definitely going to see some cracking down on that. Wouldn't be surprised if a couple more yellow cards start flying if it's not cleaned up a little bit.
When the yellow cards start flying and the people start dying, everyone starts crying. Don't want that to happen, especially in a state championship like this. So, Sir will clear things up, trying to get people to get lower in the tackles.
Get a name on it, don't let it bounce.
And here's Thorndike getting ready to do the kickoff. Drops it a couple times, testing the turf. Flips it around, gets to the right side. High and mighty onto the right side of the field, a bit over to the high bounce. Pinned in their territory. Ooh, quick run from Rodriguez. He gets tackled into touch. And an amazing tackle there from Aiden Vasquez.
It was kind of unfortunate. The ball carriers, he really had to go out, but his head did cross the line, which made it out. So if he had only, stayed curled in, he could have probably saved that play and then made something of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a line up, good position here for Arlington. Here's a throw in, and it's one. Here's Thorndike. He'll pass it out. Here's Wimma out to the 15. Nice run from Coles. Knock it on the doorstep of the try zone. Thorndike will fake, but run to some traffic. It's almost like they're expecting him to do that. Forward crash from Little Blue Scrum Cap. Thorndike gets to the hooker, Mills. And looks like the Sir will call a little something. He'll call a scrum. And, yep, another scrum.
Definitely the slowest part of any game are the scrums. Not much happens, especially when they have to be called up 2 or 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, scrums are definitely not the most favored part from both teams and anyone watching. I bet the Sir does love them, though. In any case, here's the pass out. Hot pass back to Aiden. Before he gets taken down. Here's the run in. Sir calls time off.
Looks like he'll go over to talk with the touch judge. Last time that he did that, he was discussing whether or not the try was placed down. So, you know, the ruling can be anything from a penalty to a awarding a try here. Although that run was definitely pretty good. Although the tackling was definitely very aggressive, you know, shoving back. Once again, it looks like he'll award the try. Yeah, it's definitely looking like Berserkers. Their defense is gonna have to, you know, be a little bit more. I don't want to say unified, but
active.
Active, definitely active. Like moving. You know, it's like one section tries to like move up and like, you know, attack the ball, and then the second half is kind of like, you know, stays back. You know, maybe he has like a safety, but that does open up a gap between them, which the Stallions are doing a great job of, you know, exploiting.
There's about 2 million geese in the cornfields going on an exodus, crossing the road. Quite a dangerous position as there are cars flying around everywhere, but looks like they're stopping for him.
The kick was not in, I don't think.
Looks like they're re-kicking.
Looks like the Berserkers tried to block the kick, but you do have to stay at the horizontal of the uprights. You know, it is a football field goal setup, so it's maybe a little bit more confusing than the normal rugby setup. So, but he will have another shot to kick.
And here it is. Bounces off the crossbar. And looks like they're going to get the quick tap going fast. Or maybe not. They have to wait for their team to get back. Here's the drop kick. Aiden couldn't quite get his hands on it, but he finally does at one point. But now his team's pinned back inside their own 22. In fact, right on their 5. Good aggressive tackling. And Chevrolet takes it to the contact. Another out to the backs. Ball bouncing around. Now that kind of looks forward. And indeed it is. Scrum to CRC.
It looks like the Berserkers on their defense, you know, they're really lining up all pretty much around the ball. You know, they are decently spread out, but then, you know, the wings, they're really kind of not paying attention to, and they're kind of hoping that their defensive wings are going to be fast enough to catch up. This time they did catch up and then tackle him and then force the scrum, but, you know, it's probably a better tactic would be a little bit more spread out and then shift up and down as you need to instead of having to send the entire team down. Anyways, they get it, and they're running, and they pass it down, but there's a pretty far pass.
He's still running down the sideline. Amazing run and big up from Rasser. Thorndike, long pass to Washington, who takes it into contact. Thorndike gets a turf monster, then gets back up, goes back down. Yep. Circles time off. He's asking for the number 15. Yellow card again for CRC.
Yeah, once again losing one of your 15 when the other team is in your territory. You know, it's definitely some bad juju beans. Really can't be working with that. This is much more difficult. Every guy gone is you know, one shot better for the other team. Especially when Arlington's been already showing that they're a very aggressive team and a very fast team, that they exploit holes very well.
Yep, number 14, Edison Fernandez is out now for CRC. And now Arlington's got the numbers. Looks like that was a knock on. And it'll be a scrub to CRC in their own territory. The smell of sunscreen fills the air as the sun starts peeking out even farther than it was before. And scrum's good. And down the back line it goes. Couple spin moves and smeared on the 5-yard line. Ball's back out now. Nice run. The big 8-man, Kamari Cross. And the penalty will be awarded to CRC, not rolling away. It's like Thorndike kind of got stuck inside the commotion. Here's Zarko, nice run. Low into contact, getting quite a few meters. Knocking on the door of the 40 now. Slowly working their way up. Almost picked off by Josh Dixon, but not quite. And knocked on by Thorndike. Another scrum to CRC. Now, the scrum's looking pretty good, but of course, as soon as I say that, usually scrums don't look pretty good. But hopefully this time it won't be that way. Here's the push. Ball's out. Quick hands. Here's the kick. Really high. Picked up, and Rodriguez is under the tackle, and he gets it. Now it's back to Arlington offense. A really good run from Brannis. He's doing a really good job. Thorndike kind of caught, but we'll get the pass off to Wimma. Gets the bounce of an offload. It goes into touch.
Yeah, the game is definitely a little bit more back and forth now than at the very beginning when Arlington kind of controlled pretty much everything that the ball did. Looks like, you know, Arlington definitely started really, really strong. So, you know, it's not even the second half now, but they're definitely breaking down a little bit. See if they can't pick that up again and then, you know, really start to control the game again. But the Berserkers are definitely taking full advantage of everything.
Well, haven't seen that before. But looks like he will get tackled into touch after a long run down the sideline. And it'll be a line out to Arlington. Arlington's lineouts have been looking pretty good. I mean, really good at exploiting the gaps after them. Here's the throw. Thorndike. That's a moment. He'll knock it on. And it'll be a scrum to CRC inside the 40 for Arlington. Not real good field position there for Arlington. CRC has a chance to do a little something. And he's got to take the advantage.
Excuse me. Looks like the Berserkers are definitely having a bit of a difficulty keeping things going. Like they have the advantage like this. They have a bit of an opportunity, and they usually do have a pretty good run or a smash through, but then usually something happens.
Looks like Kamari Cross kind of ran into his teammate who came up the scrum a bit too quick and just pushed him over, but looked like that was a bit of a problem. And the penalty for the obstruction will be gained. Oh, fakes the kick in with the quick tap. Classic. Passes out. There's Michael. He'll offload it to Rasser, who gets yeeted into touch. And let me line out for CRC.
They go up, and the Berserkers keep the ball.
And a nice hard run from Kamari Cross. That's a scary man. Looks like not releasing, and there'll be a penalty awarded to CRC. Going for the kick to touch. Please don't kick it straight this way. Looks like he's a left foot kicker, and it will definitely find touch. Ball into the other field. Coach goes running on to get it. Good decision there to kick the touch. Did not quite go as far as he wanted it down the sideline. But ended up working out, still going out, and inside the 50-meter line.
Yeah, it's not looking like the Berserkers have very much set up for a line run, but we'll see if they don't use their forwards to crash it. Oh, looks like it bounces forward, but
and Zarko gets tackled into touch. Good play. And it'll be a line out now to Arlington. Now let's say lineouts are playing a huge role in this game. There's been quite a few of them.
Yeah, it's looking like when they can keep control of the ball and then pass it out, or even just use their forwards for a crash, they do a decently good job. But a lot of times these lineups, they kind of fumble it forward, or they can't really keep control of it.
And a circle call not straight. And scrum to CRC.
Solid scrum. They get out. 8-man pick. He's going, but it was a fast tackle off.
Penalty awarded. Here's the quick tap. And here's the crash from Kamari. And he takes quite a few meters and dragging quite a few guys along with him. Here's the hooker. Now they're getting closer to the 5 now. Ball's out. Good crash from Zarko. Here's a crash from Ward. And it looks like the ball is going to be bouncing around, but collapsing the ruck. And here's the run in, the quick tap. And circles time off. Yellow card. Yellow card probably for the high tackle. No tolerance for high tackles. And yes, as Malachi and I had said earlier, the yellows are flying.
The question is, they were pretty close to the try line, it looked like. So will he award a penalty try, or will they just go back for a penalty? Just a penalty kick or a quick tap.
Looks like they're going back to the penalty kick. The quick tap. I don't see why they do a penalty kick. Here's a quick tap. Kamari cross. Ball gets popped out, though. And another high tackle.
Looks like the advantage is given to Arlington for that.
Fat Man aggressively getting in. Teammates having a hard time rucking over, but they will get the penalty. Here's the quick tap.
Looks like they're going to send one of their north-south runners, one of their big forwards, to run into the line, make a couple meters after contact.
Good old Josh Dixon. Oh, ball pops out. Another penalty, slowly gaining 10 meters at a time. Fat Man with the quick tap, not 10 meters. And looks like the sir says penalty advantage. Here's Dixon again. Another 10 meters from the big man. Ball's back out. They get it across the field. Some back and forth and some good offloads. Thorndike gets it out to the winger. And he gets tackled in the touch. But they'll go back to the looks like the sir will call over CRC player again. And looks like the sir will throw another card. And Edison Fernandez is back in from his yellow. Quite a few yellow cards this game. Here's the kick to touch, and that's the half. Right now, Arlington winning 22-10. And some pretty good rugby here from both teams, though the yellow cards do seem to be in season.
Yeah, definitely a lot of high tackles and then repeat offenders. So it'll be interesting to see if in the second half they can clean that up, because eventually the yellow cards are really going to start stacking up, and that's really what's hurting the Berserkers right now, is losing those guys, and then their defense really suffers, and then Arlington finding those holes and then going through. Although the Berserkers did pick it up from the beginning when Arlington really controlled most of the game, the Berserkers stepped it up, and then they started running and finding those holes like Arlington does, and they have put it down for a couple tries. So it's definitely great rugby. The teams are pretty decently matched, so it's quite the game to watch. Anyways, we'll be back in a couple minutes with the second half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of this D2 state championship between the Arlington Stallions and the CRC Berserkers. I'm Elijah Hall, and I'm here with Joe Mackin in the second half. Joe, how are you doing right now?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to see some rugby first half of this game. Wildly entertaining. Great rugby from both sides, and excited to see the second half of this game.
I'd seem to say so.
Yeah, some really athletic players on both sides. Arlington, obviously, with Fat Man Thorndike pulling his team along, and then the Berserkers, obviously a bunch of athletes.
Oh, my goodness.
Right there, you see it. Fernandez down the sideline, drifting halfway across the field, but he's still got the ball. He's moved all the way across the field. That was impressive. And he's still on his feet.
That's impressive.
Still on his feet, flashing his speed. Obviously, Arlington with a 22-10 lead, but in games like this, momentum, the score, it can change immediately. And quick ball here. Oh, ball's ripped out by Fat Man Thorndike. Berserker still with the ball. Fernandez drifting across the field. Fernandez still on his feet. Fernandez is brought down.
That's a lot of Fernandez's.
Oh, big
Not
man.
quite the try line. He dove in and reached over, but it wasn't quite the try line.
Ward thought he had the try, but I guess he didn't. Oh, spin move, spin move. Still spinning.
Smeared.
Brought down. Penalty to the Berserkers. Arlington actually playing a fairly sloppy game today. Rather unlike them. Up, that fell off. And penalty again to the Berserkers.
A lot of penalties to the Berserkers here. Arlington having a difficult time keeping the Berserkers out of the try zone without committing a penalty.
And I guess it's just the way that Arlington plays. They play very physical, but they also take a lot of chances. They play a rather aggressive style of rugby, and it can end up hurting you with the penalties. Berserkers still at the goal line. Outside, Fernandez looked like he got a hand on that. And going back to the spot of the penalty.
So it looks like Arlington is doing a pretty good job keeping CRC out of the try zone, even though they are committing penalties.
Is this
but just
the
as
dagger?
I say that, Kamari Cross will run in and score the try, putting the score 22-15.
Kamari Cross is also an NFL player.
I had a hunch I recognized his name.
Yep, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, all of you who are watching this, Google it, but I'm pretty sure he plays for the Texans.
Can you give his position?
Oh, gosh. Cornerback or safety?
College?
It's one of the two. College. I have no idea.
Wow, that's a first. Usually you know all the colleges, too.
He's probably a backup. But CRC starting off the half. Well.
Yeah, Arlington started off the first half with 3 unanswered tries, and then CRC pounded in 2 more. So we can see how Arlington can handle this.
Thorndike to do the kickoff. He's got quite a boot, and there it is. High spiraling kick. Ooh.
Bounced off him.
Great defense by the Stallions. And a knock-on called. Just when CRC had all the momentum, they knocked it on. And it's a scrum down to Arlington and let their back line go to work. Arlington, from what I've seen, actually has a pretty good back line. Very quick, very fast, and they move the ball to the outside very well.
Yeah, Arlington's they have a really small forward pod. Their forwards are all really fast, which is definitely a plus. Let's throw a call timeout because it looks like there's some confusion not having their flanker in due to a yellow card.
So that yellow card was in the first half, but if there was less than 8 minutes in the first half, he also has to stay out for the second half, correct?
I think so, because that looks like it's the case.
Two teams look like they've figured it out, and
No 8-man.
no 8-man. Indeed, you are correct. Thorndike.
Bit of a high scrum, and
And there it goes.
turned into a football dog pile.
Like a stack of dominoes, they tumble down.
I had a feeling it was going to go bad as soon as I saw how high it was, especially on that right side. All it takes in a scrum is one guy to mess up and the whole thing gets destroyed. And it really stinks to be a proper lock in those situations.
And unfortunately, most other sports give scrums a bad rap. They're like, oh, in football, they're like, oh, that looked like a rugby scrum. But if a scrum is done right, it's actually one of the most beautiful things in sports. And it's done in sync and properly. And here it's, oh, big hit. Oh, Arlington's back line. There
It's
he
Aiden.
goes.
And
Vasquez.
Aiden Vasquez will run it in for the try off the outside center position.
Off
Good
the
long
scrum.
pass from Thorndike, too. Beautiful.
Yeah, Thorndike had the flanker coming off, and then the flanker hit Thorndike as he was passing it. And but it was a beautiful job and got it out to the center Vasquez, and Vasquez just saw the space and took it in. And Arlington, great response to CRC in the first half. CRC starts it off with a try. Arlington roars back and answers, so that's good. That's always a very good sign of a good team, is how they're able to respond to adversity and like momentum shifts, how they're able to stop the bleeding almost.
Yeah, 27-15 now. But yeah, that's why Thorndike can play nationally like that, because that pass was crisp, and with his left hand too.
And as he was being hit.
And as he was being hit. Earlier in the game, I don't think you saw it because you were broadcasting the other game, but he had an offload where he got tackled, and he did that thing where you
backhand.
Yeah, backhand it, and it was just an absolute dime.
Yep, quite
like
a player
30 feet
he
away.
is. Fat man Thorndike.
He
kick.
did have a couple bad decisions, but looks like the kick will squeak right on
Wow,
through.
I didn't think that was going to go in, but I guess it did.
Well, he has had some trouble earlier. He made his first kick from on the sideline, which was quite impressive, snuck its way in there. The other ones were just underneath, and then one hit the post itself, the crossbar
Oh, that's
itself.
tough luck.
So,
Yeah, but like you said Thorndike makes bad decisions. At least he makes decisions.
well, I didn't say
no,
he makes.
you're right. He's
yeah.
made bad decisions.
Yeah.
But the thing is at least he's making decisions, because some teams would hold them back. Oh,
Woo!
beautiful play. What a catch by Marcus Mullins.
Now, that is how you want to start off when you come in as a sub. You want to show Coach that you got something going, and he definitely did. Showed them.
Showcasing his athleticism. Marcus Mullins flying to get the ball.
Got the bunnies. Whoa!
Kano down to the goal line. Support is there. Ball comes out. Ward stiff-arming his way. Lumbering towards the try zone. Not quite in yet.
When the man goes down, everyone cries timber.
Long pass outside to Fernandez. Fernandez turning on the Jets. And he's in for the try. CRC answering Arlington's answer.
No, it's try on try on try. It seems like both teams' defenses are having a pretty rough time.
Well, the
CRC
best.
dealing some athletic smashing, just using their speed and agility, all starting off with, what was that, Marcus Mullins with his catch, and then Arlington using their knowledge, and then, of course, they also got that speed to score some tries of their own.
Yeah, I think both teams have as their motto, the best defense is a good offense. And both teams, if their defense hasn't been there, their offense certainly hasn't. It's just a whole ton of fun to watch a high-scoring offensive game like this, especially in a championship. Two well-matched teams. Sometimes you get a championship game where they don't quite have a good matchup. It's kind of a blowout, but yeah, this is a good game.
29-22, Stallions up. And they receive the kick.
driving forward. And a penalty down to CRC.
And looks like the sir's going to have a little quick chat with the captain of Arlington. But yeah, Arlington is up by a try and a kick. A try and a kick. More, maybe I should put it a try and a conversion. And so it's pretty getting a bit closer. CRC throwing some stuff back at him. Well, looks like the fat man will
end his chat with the sir, and here we go. Zarko goes into contact. Ruck is formed. Ball comes out. Oh, nice catch there. Chilel's going to go down.
Kamari Cross throws it back out.
Oh, nice hit there.
Josh Dixon with a nice hit.
Oh, through the line. Holding on for dear life with his jersey, and it's stolen by Arlington. Penalty advantage to Arlington.
Fernandez kind of had that high tackle there. A bit of a mishap, if I do say so myself.
Arlington's going to form a ruck, try and slow things down, and here is Thorndike. Chip kick over the line.
And they go back to the penalty advantage. And the sir calls time off. He's going to have a little chat with the sideline ref. Touch judge.
I like to think of myself as a rugby broadcaster, not quite a timeout broadcaster, but in big games like these, the sirs do like to talk to their counterpart sirs on the sideline a lot.
Okay, they got to get everything right.
And they have actually. The reffing these past couple games and big games like this at nationals, at Midwest, and then in the state championships have just been excellent.
Yeah, I agree. They keep the games flowing and rarely make a bad call. As the Rugby Riot guy Zach Bateman said, at nationals, there was rarely a bad call, and the games were nice and flowing, so really good reffing squad there. And we're seeing that again pretty much today. And it looks like he's really getting on the teams for having those high tackles.
Oh, ball into the road. Almost hit a car. That was the most exciting thing.
Did you have to
today.
kick it all the way over there?
Yeah, I've always wondered, people right at the sideline, and they just blast it out of bounds.
Like a nuclear
You always wonder,
bomb.
I mean, I think you could just, like, tap it out and then go get it easily, but no, they have to use their bazooka of a leg and get it out.
Aggressive and relentless. No fear of
Losing or
kicking it into the road and losing the ball.
Yeah, we don't know.
Causing a car accident, probably more like. They get line out to Arlington. And time's back on.
Oh, knocked backward by Arlington. Zarko got his hands on it, knocked forward by Arlington, but I guess not. Here goes Thorndike,
And knocked forward by Arlington, and was knocked backward, but then knocked forward again. Yeah, a lot of knocking on the doorstep of the 40.
Ha, I see what you did there. Somebody I would know would be very proud.
No, he'd probably find something better to say.
That is true. Rest in peace, Jordan Neighbor. He's not dead, he's just not with us. Oh, that sounds worse.
Yeah.
He's not currently sitting in the sky. He's alive. He's playing. He's going to play.
He's alive. He's
Don't
playing
worry.
Today.
He's not dead. That would be very insensitive of me. And
bit of a confuffle in the scrum.
that's not even a word.
Yes, it is. Father Batman told me it was.
Oh, but that's Britain. This is America.
Apparently, conundrum
Is a word in America. And they're resetting the scrum. Looks like the ball just shot out the back of it. And here we go, taken by Cross.
Kamari Cross.
Running hard. Oh, beautiful pass from Cross.
Oh, and they found the gap.
Huge hole. Chilo
Oh,
knocks the ball
nice hit.
backwards. Arlington's got the ball. Thorndike takes it himself. Goes hard into contact. Thorndike, one of the harder running scrum halves in America. A little bit of confusion where he was going to go Ballister, and he's going to go down. Thorndike gets the ball out. Oh, knocked forward.
This isn't basketball, son.
Yep, this isn't basketball. And
Time off. And just looks like he got a bit hit in the shin. Just got to
Roughed
walk it off.
and he's good. Bautista Ballister.
And there'll be a scrum to CRC.
I think both teams really like scrumming.
Most forwards don't.
I've never met a forward who wasn't an 8-man who enjoyed scrumming.
Who wasn't an 8-man.
Oh,
That is true.
rather interesting.
Oh, flankers.
Fernandez playing 8-man. Oh, Cross with actually has a very beautiful pass for an 8-man. It's pretty interesting. Oh, move. Mullins slicing his way through the defense.
That's such a fun name to say, Marcus Mullins. Oh, looks like he kind of slid down and Thorndike chased him down and knocks him over like a tiger on a gazelle.
Okay. Tigers would never eat gazelles. Tigers live in India. But maybe a lion on a gazelle.
On a gazelle, that's what I meant.
But, or like a stallion on a berserker. Whoa. Okay. Moving on. Zarco down the field to Chilo to Fernandez. Fernandez cuts through the line.
He's still going.
Go!
Good
Almost
thing he
was
didn't
able to
let
get it
go of
off.
that.
Gets back up. Penalty.
Not releasing the ball when he went down. You have to let go before you get back up and keep running, and he did not, so that'll be detrimental to the cause.
Oh, winning. Thorndike's going to look
And
to get it out of
Thorndike's gonna
bounds.
look to kick it right at us, probably. Okay, he was merciful and ended up kicking it earlier.
Yesterday, remember, so New Trier, their 10, Adrian O'Kelly has a great leg, and he kicked it out of bounds, and he kicked it right at me. And I was hoping it would bounce over me, but it didn't. It knocked my headset off. It didn't hit me. It knocked my headset off.
Really?
He's a sniper. It was one of the best kicks I've ever seen. And I was left stunned for a couple seconds. But this, I mean, at least today, I'm in scaffolding and not on top of a shipping container.
A shipping container.
Lions for Hope.
Oh.
D2, or no, D1 club championship
D1
yesterday.
Club, yeah. Oh, who won? New Trier?
New Trier. 64-5, beat up on Naperville.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Fatman Thorndike actually plays for New Trier sometimes when they're out of state.
Yeah.
Can't play for them when they're in state. Not quite sure why. Never quite understood all the rules.
Maybe he
in
just
that.
doesn't.
He doesn't. Maybe he doesn't like them.
Maybe
No,
it's
he does
'cause
like them.
he plays for Arlington, but maybe it's because Arlington doesn't play out of state. That's probably why.
Nice offensive series here from Arlington, moving the ball pretty efficiently. Nice little run down the sideline from Coles. Oh, good catch from the 10. Makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. Slicing up field. He's got one man to beat. It's Mullins. He's beat Mullins. He's only got Mullins. Down the field he goes. Dives in for the try. And it's good. Alex Brannis
34.
streaking down the field. Nobody was going to catch him. That was just a brilliant run. He caught the ball flat-footed, faked a pass, made two men miss, sliced through the defense, turned on the burners, and touched it down for a try. Dove in, looked like Superman.
But yeah, really good run down the field with beautiful form, breaking the tackles, and Mullins almost had him, but he just was not quite there, just could not pick up the speed, but an amazing dive, finish it off.
And that second look at it looks even better than the first. Slow motion's always better. And Mullins is going to try. Oh, nope, that's not Mullins. Never mind.
You just like saying his name.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great juxtapositioning. That is a word, actually. Ballister to do the conversion kick.
Now he's really good at squeaking it in there.
Yeah, he likes living by the skin of his teeth. And again,
Bit low.
he has no skin on his teeth. That kick didn't quite make it, and puts the score at
34-22.
So Arlington slowly pulling away here.
But you can't speak too soon. Still a good amount of time left in the game.
How about kickoff? Spiraling sideways, takes an odd bounce.
Oh!
Mullins again!
Me!
My
Marcus
goodness!
Mullins!
Somebody stop that man, because Arlington certainly can't.
Penalty.
Diving in.
And Sarah call.
Zarko got a little too jumpy.
Time off. Oh, no, sorry. He'll call him back.
At the goal line is Arlington.
Come Zarko.
Getting driven sideways, falls down. Held up.
It was held up first, and then he pulled it back and placed it again, which you can't really do. And so he tried to get away with it, but not quite. The sir was like, no, you're not getting away with that. Nice try.
I see what you did there. Nice try.
What? I didn't mean to do that, but sure.
You're a better punster than you think you are. Goal line drop,
Woo.
high, spiraling kick from Thorndike to the wrong man. It's Mullins.
Mullins.
Oh.
That's going to be.
That's not going to be Mullins down the sideline. He's in for the try. He's not in for the try.
Well, time off again.
I just saw a blindside block, a breakaway try, and time off in about 5 seconds.
It's almost like we're watching NFL right now.
That's how fast Marcus Mullins is.
He's speed. Lightning speed. For him, there's only one winner. And there's 29 losers.
29? Oh, I see. Sirs having a
Still
powwow
talking.
of war. See, I always thought whenever they called time off, the Sirs discussed what they had for lunch. And
They
then
probably do.
kept the players in suspense for 5 minutes.
No, there was this one game when the Sir got he had Uber Eats delivered to him at during a scrum, and he called time off just so he could eat the corn dogs that he got.
Respect to you, man.
It
That
was
sounds
in
awesome.
Indiana.
That is awesome.
I mean, he gave the team some rest, so I guess they appreciated it.
Yeah, shout
just
out to
kinda
Uber.
funny.
Great job by them. They're not one of our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors. But,
We sponsor ourselves.
no, we take that back. Rugby, Illinois has sponsors. Oh,
Tip
beautiful
back.
kick. Taken in by Rodriguez. Rodriguez makes a couple men miss, and he's taken out of bounds. Ooh, ripped into the bench.
Sir calls time off. Yeah.
Rodriguez took a spill into the benches.
Yeah, it kind of threw him a bit far. Maybe a bit too far.
And Sirs, yet again, discussing the dinner menu. Not actually. They're probably talking about that play. It was very dangerous. Arlington players ripped him into the sideline. I think he actually hit the bench.
Well, if you hit, I mean, the bench is really close, and there's not much you can do there, but. Yeah.
It's going to be CRC's lineout. Not quite sure why. I know this isn't football, but oh, time off again. And seems like they're just taking a quick look at Rodriguez.
Yeah, it was kind of a hard throw there. And it took 3 guys, too. 3 guys took him out.
Mhm.
And when you got that momentum coming in from the side and he was trying to sidestep.
still discussing the potentially dangerous play. Well, it was a dangerous play, but probably some sort of penalty or whatnot. About 15 minutes left in this game, what has proven to be wildly entertaining. And it's going to be a line out.
And a sub.
And a sub. The two best things in rugby. Not actually, but...
Your sarcasm.
I'm sorry. Okay. Time is back on.
Now everyone's back to old killer mode.
Kano, knocked backwards. Beautiful play by Arlington's jumper, and it's their ball. Thorndyke's at the ruck. Oh, nope.
Josh Dixon running down the sideline. Oh, stripped.
Oh, great chase down tackle by Thorndyke. Josh Dixon making a big play, got it ripped out of his hands, and then Thorndyke makes a big tackle. Oh,
knocked forward.
What a throw.
He tried to snap it on back. I guess it does kind of pay out to play football, but...
That would have been an incredible play if it had been legal. But unfortunately, there was a knock. And Arlington with yet again...
A scrum on the 5.
Yeah.
Almost
Perfect
right in the middle.
opportunity to score here. I'd be surprised if they didn't get it in, but then again, you never know.
Yeah, this second half has just been a lot of back and forth. The first half, we saw just 3 from Arlington, 2 from CRC, and then another from Arlington. Here it's more back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, very physical, very aggressive game. Ton of fun to watch.
Definitely.
8-man pit. Oh, that's not the 8-man.
Is that the prop?
That was the prop playing 8-man, and ball's rolling around, so are the players. Not quite sure who has it. Arlington playing with advantage right now. Penalty down to Arlington. Thorndyke's going to take it himself. Thorndyke at the goal line, and he's in. Fat man Thorndyke places it down for the try.
An amazing quick decision there from Thorndyke, getting that quick tap right off the bat as soon as that penalty was given, giving CRC no chance to get in position to play defense on that. Amazing play from Fat Man Thorndyke.
Yeah, really showcasing the reason why he's one of the best players, not only in Illinois, but in the country at Nationals. Just absolutely showed out. The team was playing for New Trier was ranked 7th, and he kind of took them all the way to the Tier 2 National Championship game. And then here, just providing an extra pep in the step of Arlington.
And we do want to thank our media crew for the amazing effects, like the instant replays and the Rugby Illinois logo thing and all that good stuff. They put a lot of time into it to make the experience better. So want to thank Tom Staffke and William Reed for that.
And Richard Jolly, he's filming. Ballister. Oh. Missed the kicked left. Looks like he hooked it. Looked good when he first started out, but curved left a little bit.
He hooked it, looked. And time slowly running out.
I'm willing to put money on the fact that the kick's going to go to Mullen's side. It
Yep.
is.
That's a fast man. Oh, just out of his reach. And it just bounces around and it's picked up and football hit.
Knocked on. Mullins was flying in.
No, wait, there's a penalty.
Oh.
Wow, it's CRC ball.
They're going to get it. Ward. Ward running down the field right at the goal line.
And
another penalty. CRC living off of penalties. Sarko taps it, takes it himself at the goal line. And still at the goal line was...
Oh, that's the try.
Oh, what the heck?
Sometimes you can't really tell if it's a try or a penalty, but yeah, that's the try. CRC will put another one down.
Wow, CRC not giving up.
Keeping the score 39-27. Pretty high-scoring game here, but it's also pretty close. CRC down by a try and a penalty kick. keeping things interesting.
Urbazuski's in the game now for Arlington.
Ooh.
Kick is good from CRC. And they're not going away. They're staying in this game. They're making it close, and they're actually within striking distance. 29-39?
27-39.
27-39.
Sorry, 29-39.
29-39. It's only 2 tries, and there's still plenty of time left to do that. A little under 10 minutes.
And Thorndike's going to be kicking off. Looking at that deep kick. Nice and high, nice and deep. Good spiral. There it is.
High and short.
Kamari Cross just underestimated it a little bit.
Ball's bouncing around.
It's anyone's race. And
Thorndike's got it. Slips on the turf. Turf monster got him. Arlington, quick to the ruck.
the 7 playing 9. Oh, pretty
Green
good pass
gets
there.
it out to Dixon. Dixon's going to give it off. Can't quite see who that is, but it was a nice run from him, and
Knock on. Knock on. Scrum to
Arlington.
Yeah. So I was a bit confused. Some good scrums from both teams, and then there was one that was a bit of a mess up where they just turned into a dog pile. But
yeah, they've actually been pretty good today.
And free kick penalty awarded to CRC, probably for the early push.
Quickly taken by Zarko. Zarko, no look, pass off to Chilel. Chilel on the outside to, can't quite see who that is, but it's a great run by him. Echeverria.
And another penalty awarded. Yep, as you said, the Berserkers are living out the penalties. They're not back 10 at all. But looks like the Sir will let him get away with it.
Thorndike's got the ball. Thorndike with a vicious stiff arm. He's going to be ripped down.
Yep, stiff arm to the face. Saw that one coming. Looks like some tempers are rising.
John Edwards with a great run.
Yeah, definitely some tempers rising on this field.
Kano with a beautiful offload to Fernandez on the outside. Fernandez being driven backwards. Nice defense by the Stallions. Or the Mustangs. There's the Morton Mustangs.
And then Arlington
Stallions,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow, Kamari Cross is a little bit of a combat roll to gain some meters. They get it out. High pass just out of reach. Oh, a nice slide in.
Urbanazuski.
And another, well, you weren't on the spot. Another penalty awarded to CRC. Here's a run from Zarko. Well, he's got no one supporting him. Oh, the ball's loose. And it's stolen by Arlington.
Oh, nice hard run by Cheverete. It's CRC's ball. They've stolen it. Oh, beautiful catch by Cross. Beautiful pass by Cross out to Fernandez. Bit low, but great distance. Fernandez is going to get it off to Mullins. Mullins stepping, sliding, and gliding. Runs into a little bit of contact, gives it off to Kano. Kano's going to go down. CRC with the ball at about the 25. Hard, dominant run there from Arellano. Cross. Wheeling his team forward. CRC.
Arlington's defense is slowly kind of breaking down. Arlington doing those passive tackles, but just as I say that, of course, there's an active tackle right there.
The broadcaster's jinx is real.
Oh, it's too real.
Oh! Thorndike blew Medina up. He didn't even have the ball, and now Arlington's hitting the ruck hard. Penalty.
Not releasing the tackled player. Looks like
Chilel gives it off to Echeverria. Here goes Cross at the goal line. Is he in? He's in!
Kamari Cross.
Willing his team forward with nothing more than his willpower and his athleticism.
Yeah.
Athletic ability, athleticism.
All that good stuff. Putting the score 39-34.
And CRC, they're playing great right now, but I wonder how the clock is going to be their friend or not, because time is running out here on the Berserkers. They're playing great right now. They've got Arlington on the back foot. Kick was good, 36-39. About 5 minutes left in the game.
Wow, it's a 3-point game. 3-point game with about 5 minutes left on the clock. Now this is when things turn into a nail biter.
And who would have thunk it?
That's horrible grammar, Mackin.
I'm sorry.
I know what you meant.
Coming back into the game for, oh, wait. Razar.
And here's the kick from Thorndike. Right to Kamari Cross. This time it was in his hands. Oh, he's running through everybody like it's 1966.
Kamari Cross brought down by who else? Fat Man Thorndike. Thorndike stuck in the ruck. Good clear out there from CRC.
That's clear from Ward there, and here's a good run. And some aggressive rucking as the stakes begin to get higher.
Ball comes out. Robinson. Robinson rumbling down the field. He's still up.
North and south he goes.
Long pass to Fernandez. Oh, he knocked it forwards. It's taken by Kim. Offload to Dixon. Dixon still on his feet. And time comes off.
Time off. Yeah, Dixon kind of looks like he opened his mouth kind of wide back there and he got hit. So the General will go onto the field. But yeah, that was a series of play. It would bounce. Just the pass was a bit too high and it bounced down, and then Arlington got the steal.
Yeah, great play by Kim. Almost had the heads up. Most players probably would have hit Rodriguez in the air, but he didn't. Rodriguez dropped the ball forward. Probably saw Kim in his peripheral, and Kim picked it up, went down. Beautiful offload to Dixon, and then up.
There's the red card.
Red card on Fernandez. Wow.
That was his second yellow. He had one in the first. He had a yellow in the first half. So after 2 yellows, that's a red. So he's out the field for the rest of the game.
Sir, not doing the Berserkers any favors. Man, talk about a tough break for the Berserkers. I mean, they have all the momentum right now. Literally, it's all swinging in their way. And then the time off kind of kills that, and obviously the red card, and now they're playing down a player with under 5 minutes to go in the championship game, down by 3. I do believe it is Arlington ball. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so. Arlington had it last. Dixon's up, and he is walking on his own weight. He is walking on his own weight off his field, so
Moses Astra's going to come in. Asha's going to come into the game for him.
Yep, it'll be Arlington ball, just as we suspected. Thorndike fakes the quick tap. Ian fakes the kick, the touch against the quick tap.
Arlington's just going to want to possess the ball here. Less than 5 minutes. It's been tough, though, with the CRC defense. Very aggressive. They hit very hard. Nice clear off by Arlington. Thorndike, long pass outside. Down the back line. Oh, nice tackle on the outside.
Probably the lowest tackle all day.
Penalty to Arlington.
Not getting out of the ruck. Sweeping out. Quick tap again. Oh,
knocked on.
forward.
Chavaretta. And
Unfortunate.
CRC now with a golden opportunity to win it. If they score, they'll have the lead. Here's Kamari Cross. Let's see what he can do. He's still on his feet.
Whoa, good tackle from the opposing 8-man from Arlington.
Washington. Ball comes out. Robinson.
Good hands. He's able to pick up bad passes like that usually result in a knock-on, but he did a pretty good job picking that up.
John Edwards down the sideline. Beautiful pass to Mullins. Mullins trying to cut inside. Mullins can't get it off. He does now. Avila. Avila's going to go down.
It's a lot of names flying in a lot of times. Here's Ward bowling his way in.
CRC playing with a lot of momentum right now. Medina on the outside. What a pass by Chilo. He's going to tip it.
Sir will call a knock-on. It was backwards, but the Sir will call it.
Oof.
And that was an oofta. That was definitely backwards. I think it bounced forwards, so that's probably what kind of got things a bit fishy.
Made it a questionable play.
A bit fish.
And in a 3-point game like this, man, every little penalty hurts. Arlington right now is living by the skin of their teeth. Just penalties have kept them in this. They're clinging to a 3-point lead. Ball comes in. Stolen by CRC. It's CRC's ball.
And the Sir will call a knock-on to Arlington. CRC is going to have to show forth something else yet again.
Man, CRC's stole a scrum, gave themselves a chance to win it, and Arlington's going to get another shot at it.
Here's the crouch, the bind, the set. Thorndike will put it in. And a really good push from CRC.
Thorndike gets it out, though. On the outside, here they go. Nice running. Good run by Coles.
And Arlington will now retain possession of the ball.
Kicks the ball out, and that's the game.
Arlington are the state champions for Division II club.
Wow, what a game. I mean, that was just an exciting game through and through. It came down to the wire. Couple calls that could have gone either which way, and now Arlington celebrating as the D2 state champions. Wow.
A
what
really
game.
hard-fought match, though, from CRC. They did a pretty good job. They came back that second half really well.
Yeah.
Really putting a hurting on Arlington, giving it a run for their money.
And they never gave up. They were down by, what was it, 14, and then they just kept chipping away, and no matter what Arlington did, they were never able to quite put CRC away, but Thorndike and the rest of the Stallions are going to come away with a state championship. Great game all around.
Yeah, just a really good game on a really great day. And congratulations to the state champions, Arlington Stallions, and the runners-up, CRC Berserkers. But yeah, until the next game, I'm Elijah Hall.
I'm Joseph Mackin. So long, everybody.